Today we are going to study the naming of alkane. For the naming, it mainly contains three parts: prefix, parent string, and suffix. Take alkane as example. The general formula for alkane is CnH2n plus 2, and the characteristic is they contain no functional group. That means for this hydrocarbon, they contain only CC single bond and CH bond only, and we end up with ANE. For the parent string, this is the longest string that contains the functional group directly. In the table, it shows how the name connected with the number of carbon. For example, if the longest carbon chain contains 5 carbon, then it starts with pan, that is pentane. We use this molecule as an example. There are 6 carbon in the parent chain, so start the name with hexane, with no functional group, which is alkane, so the name of this compound is hexane. For the suffix, it tells you which functional group the molecule contains. As we mentioned, there is no functional group for alkane. For alkene, they have one CC double bond and end up with ENE. For alkanol, they have a functional group OH. Sometimes we call it OH group, and the molecule is named with OL. Finally is alkanoic acid. The functional group is COOH, and it ends with noic acid. Next is the prefix. It tells you the substitute that connect to the parent chain. We'll take this as example. Here is our hexane molecule. Originally, the hydrogen is connected to the carbon chain, but if we remove one of them and substitute with another different thing, then this is called prefix or substitute. It can either be the carbon side chain or halogen atoms, and here shows some common choice. For the carbon bond, they will end up with YL. There is a special group CH32CH we call isoprofile, and if this is connected with a benzene ring, this is called phenyl. For the halogen, fluorine become fluoro, chlorine become chloro, bromine become bromo, and iodine become aldo. For the carbon bond, this is mainly come from the alkane without one hydrogen atom. Take this as example. For the methane, originally this is end up with ANE, now end up with YL. From methane to methyl, we use this molecule as an example. First of all, the longest carbon chain contains 7 carbons, as we mentioned in the picture. So it starts with hep. Since this is an alkane, so this is heptane. Next, there is a methyl group in either the third or the fifth carbon, depends on the direction you choose. If you follow the blue arrow, then it will be the third position. If you reverse, then it will be the fifth position. But we choose the smaller one, so the name for this molecule is 3-methylheptane. If we got the same substitutes, more than one in the molecule, then we need to label the number. For example, if there are 2 identical substitutes, we use di. If there are 3, then we will use tri. If there are 4, we use tetra. Here shows if there is 1 chlorine, we call it chloromethane. If there are 2, we call it dichloromethane, and so on and so on. Because the prefix can be placed at anywhere in the carbon chain, so we must include the position of the substitute to avoid confusion. And here shows if someone just tells dichlorobutane, then we have plenty of choice. So which one he is talking about? With the position of the substitute included, the situation become clear, and we can see among all these 5 choices, 2 of them get the same name. It's 1,2-dichlorobutane. Well, that means they belong to the same molecule. In order to separate 2 numbers, we use a comma, and there is a hyphen between the number and the alphabet. So make sure there is no spacing in the name. Well, finally, we use this one as an example. For the longest carbon chain, it contains 5 carbon atoms, so this is a pentane. No matter which direction you choose, the bromine are connected to the 3rd carbon or the 3rd position. There are 2 chlorine atoms, either in the 1st and 2nd position or in the 4th and 5th position. We choose the smaller number again. Finally, because bromine started with B and chlorine start with C, the bromine should be labeled first, and the name is 3,3-dibromo 1,2-dichloropentane. And this is the end of this section.